Hi guys, Fifa here, onto my FIFA 20 97 rated Team of the Season Luis Alberto player review. Unfortunately I didn't get around to reviewing any of the Bundesliga Team of the Season players, so if there's any players from this league and the Serie A team you'd like to see me review, just drop it down in the comment section below. Anyway, this is the team I started him in with Alisson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Ogbonna, Maldini and Carvajal in defence, Sané, Lineker, Kovacic, Rivaldo and Adama Traore in midfield, with Luis Alberto in attack. He's 6 foot with medium attacking and medium defensive work rates, he's right footed, has a 4-star skill moves and 3-star weak foot. Looking at his in-game stats, he's got 96 acceleration, 99 attack positioning, 97 finishing and shot power, 96 long shots and volleys, 98 vision, 99 short passing, long passing and curve, 93 agility, 99 ball control and dribbling, and finally 93 stamina. Going over to his traits page, he has the finesse shot trait and the flair trait, with the others being AI only. So to begin, I'll start with his pace, which was decent for me. I wouldn't say he felt rapid, which is probably because at this point in the game, there are centre backs reaching this sort of stat, but in general he's more than fast enough and shouldn't let you down. As a lot of his stats are already boosted to 99, it might be worth applying a chemistry style to increase his sprint speed a little more, and max out his acceleration. Next is his dribbling, which was great for me, as you might expect. His ball control and dribbling are maxed out to 99 and it's basically perfect in game. He always seems to be in control of the ball when moving, and he can easily bring in powerful passes and deflections by taking a touch and keeping the ball close to his body. His agility does also feel good when moving on or off the ball. The only slight issue I noticed with this was when he was completely changing directions over a 90-degree turn, he did seem a little slow when making the cut. Now this is different from feeling heavy, which is what you usually get with players that have a low agility stat. Instead, he just didn't execute the turn quickly, which is what makes players like Neymar so effective to beat your opponent. This could be down to his combination of his height at 6 foot and his balance at 85. In addition to his dribbling, he also has a 4-star skill moves, which allows you to do most of the skill moves in the game. I know for some players having 4-star is essential in an attacking player, as it allows you to be unpredictable in the way you move the ball to beat your opponent. Shooting wise, this card was amazing. In the 6 games of division rivals I played with him, he got 13 goals, averaging just over 2 per game. Fortunately, his attack positioning does override his work rates, which being medium does make some players lazy when it comes to breaking into gaps in the defence. I never had any problems with his card when playing him as a striker or as a cam, and you can easily play him in either role. I personally chose to play him mainly as a striker, as I needed a goal scorer in my team. His finishing and shot power make most of his shots unsavable for the goalkeeper inside the box. His long shots, however, are probably the best aspect of his shooting, especially finesse type shots. Thanks to his finesse shot trait, he managed to get so much curve and power on the ball, and he can score goals out of nowhere, which is always great if you find it difficult to break down your opponent's defence inside the box. The only issue I found with his shooting was that his 83 composure sometimes caused him to send shots wide that he definitely should be getting on target if not score. This doesn't happen all the time, which is good, but it can be frustrating when it does. Although I didn't get any assists whilst using him, he was often heavily involved in the build-up for most of my goals. Both his short passing and long passing has the perfect amount of power to them, so they would never be too far ahead of your player, which stops them from being easily intercepted, or your player stretching to reach the ball and getting tackled. They also had great curve on them, which combined with his vision, allows you to pass the ball to your attackers through gaps in the defence by bending it around and out of reach of the defenders. Overall, it just opens up the attacking possibilities for your team, leading to more goals and more wins. His defensive ability was just okay really, it didn't stand out to me at all, and I wouldn't choose to play him any lower than a cam position. Although towards the beginning of the game, 72 might be decent for a centre mid, I didn't notice him putting in as much defensive work as I thought he might do, at least for a cam role anyway. If you do manually control him, his standing tackle could be good at times, especially if you're pressing your opponent's back line or defensive midfield section, and it can be an effective way of winning the ball. Luis Alberto's stamina is rated at 93, which is more than good enough to last you the full game without needing to substitute him off. Of course it's all dependent on how much you force him to make runs or play the ball to him, but it's certainly not disappointing, which is what you'd hope for in a card of this rating and at this point in the game. The final positive is his 3-star weak foot, which is actually surprisingly good for me in game. Usually players with a 3-star weak foot are so annoying to play with, as it's practically useless most of the time. I've had problems with Sané missing easy chances when it forces weaker foot since I completed his SBC, and I was worried that this card would do the same. However, I didn't notice it letting this card down at all, and it easily felt as good as a 4-star weak foot. Both from shots and passes, it never lacked any sort of power or accuracy, and I didn't find myself forcing it onto his stronger foot when given the chance on his weaker side. Although I've already mentioned some negatives, they have been attached in some way to a positive to the card. His penalties aren't the best, especially if you look at them compared to his other shooting stats. It's fair to say he won't be a top penalty taker, and if you do end up using him in a shootout, it's something to be aware of. The next issue I found with him was that he was disappointing when it came to headers and just winning aerial battles. Although he's 6 foot, which is a decent height, he has only 72 jumping and heading accuracy, meaning he doesn't manage to climb to win a lot of headers, and when he does, they're mainly inaccurate. The last negative I have to mention is his terrible aggression stat, which is rated at 38. Even if you were to boost this stat using a chemistry style, it really wouldn't make any difference, and I feel it's part of the reason why he was so disappointing defensively. So overall, I'm going to 97 team of the season Luis Alberto, a 9.2 out of 10. This really was a great call for me, and although he's a little disappointing in some areas, he was massively effective in game and can score you a lot of goals. The main issue that brings his rating down a little was literally his composure, as I did notice it affecting this card from time to time. But he isn't really that expensive for a 97 rated card, and I would think he could fit into most people's teams. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please have a like and don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested in future content, then please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to reply.